if you've been around for more than a minute, you've heard me talk about the only way to have a dream life with your dog is for you to be a brilliant partner. And the only way to get there is to start thinking like, feeling like, and making brilliant partner choices today. And so let me say this again. How do you want your future to feel? Feel that today. Now, if you're like me, when I first heard this idea years ago, you may be thinking, well, what a strange idea. How can I possibly feel different than what I'm actually experiencing in my life right now? I mean, how can I feel calm and confident when my dog is lunging and barking at dogs or strangers or bikes when we try to go for a walk? How can I feel free when I'm stuck with a dog that is difficult to do anything with? How can I feel happy when I'm worried about getting kicked out of my apartment because my dog is barking so much, and they're barking so much because they're anxious about all the noises and all the things, right? Hi, I'm Kathy Kowalik, and I believe that our dogs connect us to the heart and soul of what really matters in life. So hang out, and we'll take a deep dive into the human-dog connection and explore strategies that will inspire you to create legendary, enlightened partnership with your dog. This is the Enlightened by Dogs podcast. Well, hello there, Kathy Kowalik, your host of Enlightened by Dogs, and thank you so much for joining me today and for listening. I really appreciate that. And if you haven't lately, share an episode, leave a rating and review. Always appreciate it. All right, so let's jump into this, shall we? There's something that I want to share with you today that I've been thinking a lot about this week. It's about how we humans tend to mix up cause and effect, and how easily it is to slip into the kind of mindset that tends to blame something or someone on the outside when we have an unwanted experience with our dogs and with others in our life. Most often we do this unconsciously. I mean, it just sort of happens. And once that emotional spiral of blame launches, it is really hard to interrupt. And I think that's one of the core flaws in the way I see like the dog training obedience culture that we have inherited. It's based on the dog needing to be fixed, shaped, trained to be obedient, and not much or not at all on the human adopting a growth mindset that includes compassion, empathy, and responsibility, including responsibility for being a role model and a guide for our dogs. I mean, after all, that's exactly the way dogs and human littles learn, through social connection and through the culture of the family and the community. I mean, raising dogs in a way that, I don't know, like nurtures their independent thinking as we guide them toward understanding like how we do things, and then supporting them to be responsible for doing their part is more like enlightened parenting. And I think it's okay that we leave the dog training camp to continue their debates about how to be a better dog trainer and which are the best training techniques to get a dog to do what they're told, while we dog moms we can simply focus on living a great life with our dogs that is cooperative, loving, and connected with no obedience training required. I mean, I imagine, and I hope I'm right, that you're here with me because you are so ready to disrupt the outdated norms, jump off of the dog training roller coaster, and simply focus on the main thing, which is building a lasting and sustainable, cooperative, and loving partnership foundation with your dogs. Okay, so let's dive into this idea that I've been thinking about this week. It's something that I learned like many years ago. I don't even remember when, but it was a long time ago. And it's this idea that to ask the question, how do you want your future to feel? Well, feel that today. So, how do you want your future to feel? Feel that today. Now, I brought that concept into my work, and if you've been around for more than a minute, you've heard me talk about the only way to have a dream life with your dog is for you to be a brilliant partner. And the only way to get there is to start thinking like, feeling like, and making brilliant partner choices today. And so let me say this again. How do you want your future to feel? Feel that today. Now, if you're like me, when I first heard this idea years ago, you may be thinking, well, what a strange idea. How can I possibly feel different than what I'm actually experiencing in my life right now? I mean, how can I feel calm and confident when my dog is lunging and barking at dogs or strangers or bikes when we try to go for a walk? How can I feel free when I'm stuck with a dog that is difficult to do anything with? How can I feel happy when I'm worried about getting kicked out of my apartment because my dog is barking so much, and they're barking so much because they're anxious about all the noises and all the things, right? Now, looking back, I now realize that my mindset just didn't allow me to comprehend the true meaning of that statement back when I first heard it. And after years of personal work, I finally realized the simple truth about most of us humans. Usually, we're waiting for external circumstances to be a certain way so that we can feel a certain way because of those external circumstances. For example, I will feel calm and confident when my dog is trained to loose leash walk with me. I'll feel happy when my dog is no longer anxious about other dogs or strangers or noises. I'll feel free when my dog is trained enough that we can go anywhere and do the things that I enjoy. And that applies to our life in other ways too, like, well, I'll feel confident when I get that promotion. I'll feel happy when I meet the love of my life. I'll feel abundant when I have a big house in a nice neighborhood, right? In the meantime, there we are waiting on the thing to happen while feeling and acting stressed, worried, anxious, insecure, frustrated, stuck, overwhelmed. Yeah. And what I notice is that it's the calm and confident dog mom that has a dog walking with her nicely. It's the happy dog mom whose dog is reliably calm and happy. It's the dog mom feeling free who is freely going places with her dog. In other words, we tend to mix up cause and effect. Our mindset, our state of being, and our feelings come first, and then comes the physical evidence in our life. not the other way around. And after I had that simple realization, I completely changed the way I thought about things, including the way I set goals for myself. So, for example, I no longer set goals like, I need to my goal is to train my dog to loose leash walk. My goal is to train my dog to have a reliable recall. My goal is to train my dog to reliably sit stay or to watch me or to leave it no matter what is happening around us, right? And my sport goals were not something like get qualified for the finals, etc. Instead, I ask myself, what kind of person do I need to be to have what I want? How do I need to think? And importantly, how do I want to feel? So let's see. I need to feel calm and confident when walking my dog and to make brilliant choices for where and when that is most likely to happen so that my dog feels calm and confident walking with me. I need to feel love without condition for my dog so that I'm like a love magnet that my dog wants to and freely chooses to stay near me and to come to me without needing to be trained to be obedient on a recall. Then I work on my thoughts that lead to my feelings so that more often than not, I can feel as if my future is now. The same way I feel as if I'm going to be receiving, that amazing thing I ordered from Amazon. Like it's on the way. I feel it and I'm enjoying it right now. I'm enjoying the thought of it and I'm immersing myself in the experience of what it's like because I already know it's coming and it's already here in my mind. Because the truth be told, all we ever have is now, right? The future is the now. The more we feel like the future brilliant partner we want to become now, the closer that future is to now. Does that make sense? And so now we often have our reasons for why it's too hard to feel like a brilliant partner when our dog is so challenging for us. And that reminds me of something a friend of mine likes to say. Well, you could have your reasons or you could have results. so keep that in mind, right? Do you want your reasons or do you want results? And with that in mind, let me leave you with a tip to help you implement this into your life. So there's a concept that goes like this. There's a space between stimulus and response, and in that space is choice. And choice is power and freedom. So find that space, sisters. Take a moment to pause before you react to whatever your dog is doing. Take a moment to pause there and give yourself the power and the freedom to make a new choice, a choice that a future brilliant partner makes right now. Start right now. Make a commitment to your future and to your dog. What will help you to take that pause? Here's a couple of ideas for you. Feel free to swipe them and put them to use. So it goes like this. What will help me to pause is my commitment to staying calm, connecting to my heart, really looking at and seeing my dog in the moment, noticing how I feel, establishing a habit of pausing, feeling love for my dog. Just find what works for you and remember to look for that pause, look for that space in between. That space is where you can make your choice and start to choose power and freedom that comes from choosing like a brilliant partner right now today. All right. So I hope you found this helpful. Please do let me know. You know, I love to read your comments and messages and emails and all the things. That's it for today. Have a brilliant week. Be brilliant. Be a brilliant dog mom. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye for now. Thanks so much for listening. And hey, if you would like to work with me so that I can help you discover the missing pieces you need so that you and your dog can finally be happy and enjoy life together, then head on over to dancingheartsdogacademy.com and request your invitation to join us in the Brilliant Partners Academy when the doors open for the next enrollment. See you next time, and remember, a brilliant partnership with your dog makes your whole life brilliant.